Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Living the Sweet Life. I'm your host, TJ Sweet, and on this podcast, I'm going to be talking about different ways that can help you reshape your mindset, live with intention, and look at the world through a grateful lens. So, first of all, I want to say thank you for spending some time every week, every Mindset Monday. Even if you listen on Tuesday, I still appreciate you listening to these episodes. More and more people keep listening and messaging me, and it inspires me every day, every week, to continue to pour into these episodes, learn more about the world and about people, and just try to figure out a way to connect some dots so that maybe some of the things I get to talk about on this podcast may resonate with you, so that you can make a difference in the world. And maybe even if your world isn't changing, maybe you change the way you see it. And sometimes that's all we need to get out of our own way and maybe find some more joy and fulfillment and love in our lives. Thank you for tuning in. And if you wouldn't do this on a consistent basis, it would be, it's tough to kind of share this word. And so I appreciate you spending time and committing time to do that. And again, it's a choice that you're making, and I don't take that lightly. And it's always in gratitude that I give these, give this time to these episodes. And so I appreciate you. So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and hit subscribe to this episode, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on any podcast platforms, so that you get notifications when these episodes come out, because sometimes we need reminders of the good things in our lives. And I hope to be that for you. So this week, normally, I'll be transparent. Normally, I have some sort of agenda. Normally, I have some bullet points that I want to make sure I hit on. But this week is different. This week's just going to come from me. You're not going to see me looking anywhere but at this camera. And it's going to be more authentic and more raw than practiced and rehearsed that it is sometimes, because there's certain things I want to make sure on week-to-week basis that I hit on, that I want to talk about. This week is going to be easy. It's going to be easy to talk about. So just recently, first of all, the name of this episode is Be Tracey. Okay. So Tracey was the name of a waitress. I was out to dinner with a dear friend of mine, and we had Tracey as our waitress, and she inspired this episode and this conversation I had with a friend of mine. We both talked about how there's just so much opportunity to learn from this and to talk about good things in the world. And there's so many good things happening in the world, but there's just so much application that we can think about when it comes to just good people, like good people that are living life and are good to other people. And I'll talk about kind of a couple different things here. I'm going to try to kind of stick to the same format, but it's going to be a little different. And so again, like I said, we were out to dinner, and just starting off, I'll be able to kind of apply with the lesson I'm going to talk about today to every industry, but I'm going to hone in on kind of the service industry, the food industry, or really, everything that we do is serving somebody else, whether you're in banking, whether you're in marketing, whether you're in the food industry. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you're doing, you're serving somebody else in some way, shape, or form, whether it's an actual thing you're serving them, or you're helping them do something in their life. And if you need help breaking down whatever you do, if you need help breaking that down so that I can help you see that the purpose that you have in what you do is serving others, I'd love to do that. Send me a message. But I want to, again, talk about Be Tracey, name of this episode. And so really, as we sat down for dinner, you could kind of tell by the energy in the restaurant that it was a fun place, a good place, but it was also very kind of comforting and close. But it really started to kind of become as great of an experience as it was whenever Tracey came up to us and just, she said, "Hello, how are you? And is there anything I can do for you? What can I get you to drink?" But the way she came up to us was, she came up to us like she'd known us for years. She spoke to us like she was looking forward to seeing us. And this is what it felt like from my perspective, right? So I don't really know kind of how everybody would interpret this, but she started to talk to us like she already cared about us. And she asked about our preferences with what we wanted to drink, which sounds normal. But when somebody's asking because they want to make sure you order the best food, the best drink, based on what you want, as opposed to just going up to a table and asking, what can I get you? She wanted to really dig in to think about, to really kind of understand who we were, why we were there, and kind of what really would make us have the best experience possible. But you could just tell when somebody is grateful for the opportunity to take care of you. And there are times, and I'm sure all of us can relate to this in certain industries, where you can tell that you feel like a burden, or you feel like somebody's just working a job and you just happen to sit at their table. Okay. Well, she didn't make us feel like that at all. She made us feel like she was glad that we were sitting at her table. And it was just in the beginning. It was just the conversation, the way she stood next to us, the way she talked to us, the way she said, do you have questions about anything? Are you celebrating anything? Just extra questions to try to make it the best experience possible. Now, I'm going to make some assumptions about Tracey just throughout this experience, throughout this episode, just because of the way she made us feel, and then other conversations we had. But I think she genuinely appreciates and enjoys getting to talk to people and treat them like people instead of customers. And say that again. So treating people like people, not like customers. Now, oftentimes people portray that as something you should do for the customer. But the person working, the person serving, it is also so much healthier and better to talk to the people that you're getting to take care of or serve like they're people, because they are. We recognized quickly that, Tracey told us her name. And one little thing that makes a big difference in making somebody feel seen and heard whenever they're serving you, especially in that food, like when you're at a restaurant, is saying their name back. So when they say, hello, I'm Tracey, if, here's your water. If you need anything, let me know. Say, thank you, Tracey. Saying their name back to them matters. It makes them feel seen, makes them feel recognized. But it opens up this door of, what's your name? So then we introduced ourselves to her, and then that shifted everything as well, because we had both kind of recognized that we were both there for good reasons and we're just good people. And it was such a wholesome experience from the beginning. Okay. So just understanding that how you think about the work that you're doing and how you think about the people that you're getting to do it with or for will directly change and directly impact how you treat that work and how you treat those people. But it's such a integrated, woven in, kind of symbiotic, in sync experience when both parties are grateful. Now I get it. It's sometimes hard on long, busy, stressful days. But how you approach that table, or how you approach that next customer, or that next person that you get to serve, or whatever it is, may just be the difference for you, because then you feel like you're doing something more significant as well. And so, again, we didn't feel like we were just another table for her. And as we were going through the menu, I asked her, what do you recommend? She gave us her favorites, and I said, let's do it. I trusted her, said, let's do it. And when it came to the drinks that we were getting, both of us just said, what do you think? What's great? And she's like, what do you want? She didn't say her favorite drink. She said, what kind of drinks do you like? What kind of drinks do you normally have? And again, these are only questions that you ask if you actually love what you're doing and you're grateful for the chance to do it. But you also have to understand that it makes such a big difference on the people around you and the people that you're serving. If you actually care enough to ask them more questions about themselves, they're willing to open up. So as we ordered our drinks and we ordered our food, you could tell she wanted us to love it. She didn't want to just bring us the food and bring our drinks back. She actually cared. She came back, said, what do you think? And she genuinely wanted to know, and she genuinely cared if we liked it or not. And it brought her so much joy, because both of the drinks that we got and the food, the appetizer that we got, was superb. It was fantastic. But it brought her joy. She's like, okay, what are we doing for the entree, right? And so, but she always kind of had the whole meal in mind, and she was always trying to think about, okay, well, what drink did you just have? And so as we were talking about our entrees, she was kind of asking, what are you in the mood for? Those kind of things, of which, it is a small question, but it's also an important question. And then whenever we talked about what drinks we were ordering, she tried to help us find food that would go well with the drink. Now, again, that's just discretionary effort. She could have literally said, everything's good on the menu. I like this. I like that. What would you like? Which happens all the time. But she just offered this extra level of attention and care and concern for what we were doing. Now, I will also tell you, there's a couple pieces. One, right? So first point is about being a Tracey, is about being grateful for the opportunity to serve others in whatever industry you have. And I will tell you this, and I'll probably say it a few times. I didn't ask Tracey this directly, but I think she recognizes and sees the value of people more than just customers. And so she knows that everybody coming in there is somebody, because that's how she treated us. She treated us like she wanted us to be cared for and not just fed and not just, come in there to get what we got, to go in there to give us what we went in there for, which was just the food. But we went in there for an experience. And then she asked us questions about who we were and what we did. And, it's just, she was busy and she still cared enough to ask questions, not because she should, not because her manager told her she had to, because she actually cared. But it brought her joy. It allowed her to be her normal self. We asked her the questions back. We learned a little bit about her. And then you just build this relationship where you feel like she's part of the experience with you. And it was great. Right. And so she, and I'll talk a little bit more about some other things too, at the end of this, about this experience with her. So being grateful for what you get to do. And again, it starts with how you see what you get to do, not necessarily thinking about what do you always get from what you get to do, but how you see and feel and perceive the actual serving that you get to do. Now, the second thing that we recognized is Tracey's gratitude towards us was authentic because she extended it towards her peers and her peers extended it to her. Her team, it was a super busy restaurant. Her team was all around us at any moment in time, filling our water, grabbing a plate, grabbing a napkin, asking how we were doing. So it was so much of a team effort, but you could tell by the way that they were interacting with each other that Tracey was a grateful person, that she was such a good person and she cared about the people that she was there with. And it was a busy day, but you would never know it. Again, you could tell she was glad that we sat at her table. So then, as you start to look around, we start asking questions about the bartender and different things. And so started to really recognize, and she even said to us, you know what, we all pulled together here. And she started to talk about the people she works with and how they have fun relationships and how they pick on each other and all these different things. But it was in such a way that it created a culture for us as we were sitting there having dinner together, that it was just like a fun, safe, wholesome atmosphere as well. And that really kind of changes the energy and changes the comfort level. And again, it takes it from a restaurant to an experience. And, there are certain restaurants that do this better than others. And it has nothing to do with how much the food costs. It has everything to do with the people that are thinking about the people that are coming in there. And so my challenge, reminder, whatever word you want to use here, is how do you think about the people that you get to serve and what you do every day? Because I guarantee you, if you pour more effort into thinking about them as somebody, instead of somebody preventing you from doing whatever you want to be doing, or somebody who's burdening you or an obligation or whatever it is, you'll get more fulfillment out of what you do, even if you keep doing the same thing. So recognizing that how you treat each other, especially in front of the people that you're serving, it matters. You just start to recognize that it's such an authentic, good person that we had. And again, Tracey was, she was helping other people. She had other tables, but you could tell that when she came back to us, she was with us. She wasn't thinking about another table. She was just thinking about what we had and trying to think about how we could pair the next thing that we were going to have and the next drink and all these different things. So it was such a good, wholesome reaction to us. And it was consistent throughout. And then, whenever she had a minute, you could tell she had a minute, she'd come by and just check on us, see how we were doing, see if it paired well, like she suggested. And then when it came time for another drink, she's like, well, okay, well, what did you like about the last one and what can I get you in the next one? And so it's just all these small little questions to really pour into the people that you get to serve. And then, really lastly, after like I've said, the first 2 points are being grateful for what you get to do and seeing people and loving people because it made the two of us, my dear friend and myself, it made us feel so comfortable, and we enjoyed it so much. And truthfully, I'm there to really spend time with my dear friend. It just so happens to be that we were eating in that moment, and I shared that with Tracey, and she was just like, yes, like she could resonate with that, and she checked in with that, and she knew that it was just two people that were just enjoying dinner together, and it was so good. And so, kind of lastly, sorry, let me go back. My brain's all over the place. You can see I don't have notes in front of me. So really, being grateful for what you do matters, and it changes how you do what you do, and it matters how it impacts the people that you do it for. Second thing is being grateful for the team around you. Not looking around to see who's busier than you, not looking around at, all these different things, but really recognizing everybody's here together and we're only better together. And no one of us is better than all of us, because that team was helping each other in every way, and it was busy, and they were smiling and laughing, and they were a great team. But when you feel like the people around you are grateful that you're there, you feel different about it. So then thirdly, extra effort, it inspires effort, but not out of obligation, but out of opportunity. And so as we were wrapping up our meal, she came by and I said, you know what? I trusted you on whatever. And it's been spectacular. The food was great. The service was great. The environment was great. Who I was having dinner with was great. And then she's like, can I give you guys something? So she comes back and she puts down a piece of cake. And she said, I know you didn't order dessert, but I've just enjoyed you guys so much. And I really want you to try this, especially with all the food you've had already. I really want you to try this. And so she put a dessert down for us, and we got to enjoy that. And it brought her so much joy because she could tell that we were extremely grateful for it. And it was just, again, it was such good energy and such a good experience. And then as we were enjoying that, she came flying by again. She was busy, and we talked for a little bit about life in general, and just kind of what we did for a living, and just we extended our gratitude. My friend and I extended our gratitude to her and just said thank you and how much we appreciated her. And just a couple minutes later, and that resonated with her because she could tell that it wasn't out of obligation, but it was out of like genuine, authentic gratitude. But then after that, a couple minutes later, she came by with 2 wine glasses with just a little bit of wine. And she said, it's my favorite wine here. You have to try it. Now, all of that was possible, the dessert and that wine, that we never expected. We would have had a 10 out of 10 experience if that never happened. But when you stop and think about how she felt and how she made us feel, we have that opportunity to do that every single day. She dropped by, she came by and said, this is my favorite wine. You have to try it. It's clean, it's crisp, it's right. It's an Italian wine. So she sets it down and we both try it, and it is spectacular. I think it probably even tasted a little bit better because of the whole moment. But again, she had so much joy in providing things that she loved for us. So one of the things that I love to do is share with the people that I love and that I'm the most grateful for. I love sharing what I love, and I love finding ways to give them something that they like, that they want, and not necessarily as a gift, but even just a small gesture. Even if it's their favorite wine or their favorite chip or their favorite song. And I've talked about this on multiple episodes, but paying attention to the people that you're the most grateful for allows you to express gratitude with intention and in a meaningful way that makes them feel seen and heard and loved and like they matter. And then when you consider the people that you love and people you're the most grateful for in everything you do, it will transform you and the people that you love and that you're the most grateful for. It is such a human emotion that is so good and so wholesome and so filling. And again, I'm talking about one experience at a restaurant that cultivated all of this. And again, this is, something that I just wanted to share with you to see if there's moments in your life and maybe in your career, in your industry, in your relationships that you can do these sort of things, because it is so good. It's what we're here for. We're here to live together. We're here to pour into the people that we love and that we're the most grateful for. And, the gratitude is that's probably the biggest transformation in my life, is how I treat the people that I love and that I'm grateful for. And, uh, there's so many depths of that, of which I'll get into on another episode, I promise, on kind of how that's transformed my thoughts and my heart around the people that I love. And it's just so good. But again, this wine and this extra piece of cake was her way of expressing gratitude for seeing her, for expressing our appreciation for her. She didn't say that, but she didn't need to. She knew that we would have been thrilled even if she didn't bring those things to us. But we also knew that that was her way of showing that. And so, she didn't charge us for these things, these extra things. She just wanted to do it out of the goodness of her heart. And I don't know if they do it all the time, but it didn't feel like it. It felt like we were the only two people in the restaurant, but it was busy, right? We could tell there were people around us, but all that we cared about and all that we really knew was having dinner. And we didn't feel like we were having to flag anybody down or anything. But again, everybody cared so much about her, but I guarantee you it's also because she cares about them. And so, this whole idea of be a Tracey is, and maybe think about this, being grateful for who you get to be, taking care of or serving or loving, but then also being grateful for the people that you get to do that with. But then also recognizing discretionary effort of doing extra things without expectation and doing it because it brings you joy. Maybe the extra effort that brings you joy is the thing that brings somebody that you love the joy as well. And so I could go on and on about this one experience, about just small, intricate moments that happened and conversations we had and, all these different things. And so, as we were wrapping up dinner and we enjoyed the wine and it was great and the cake was great too, uh, we just really kind of sat for a second and took this whole moment and took it in and just recognized, like, wow, how do we create more moments together and for the rest of the world like this, right? And again, it's opportunities. Not every experience is going to be like this, but they could be, because we were just human in the moment. We weren't trying to get anything for free. She wasn't trying to get a bigger tip. We were just three grateful people expressing gratitude to each other in different ways and appreciation for each other in different ways, which we can all be doing at any moment when we choose to. And so, stop and think about, how do you respond? How are you at work? Can you stop and think about every single person that you get to take care of is somebody? That may kind of recognize how you treat work differently. Then also recognize that what you get from the job that you have, the most important thing may not be the paycheck. It may be the sense of significance, the sense of purpose, the sense of meaning, the sense of an opportunity to make a difference in somebody's life. Now, we were talking and we told Tracey we were going to make a podcast about this because it was so good. But there's so much to learn from this, and I could dig into, and I'll probably write more about this. But really thinking about how much of an impact it really made on us, and how the world just needs to hear more about these examples of good people doing good things for the reasons, no other reasons than gratitude and appreciation for the opportunity to meet them and for the opportunity to take care of each other. Because I think ultimately we hoped that she felt appreciated. And so as I was paying for dinner, I asked, she went away, she walked away after she dropped off the check. And you could kind of tell that she was kind of like, okay, here's your check, as opposed to like, come on, get out of here, I got another table. She was kind of like bummed, like, okay, here's your check. Like, we were having such a good time talking and all the different things. And then she's like, no rush, you don't need to leave. And then as she left, I asked one of the other waiters that was running around, I asked how to spell her name, and they knew how to spell her name, and Tracey. And that told me a lot as well. Granted, we probably know the name of the people that we work with, but they smiled. The person smiled and he said Tracey. And so she has an impact on her team, on the people she gets to work with, but also every single customer, I guarantee you. But again, we felt like we were the only ones that night. And so we wrote that we appreciate her on the receipt. And I, again, didn't wait for her to see it. Didn't wait for her to come thank us or anything, but just, again, sharing love and gratitude and appreciation without needing anything in return is probably one of the most powerful things we can do for ourselves and for the people around us. So I just encourage you to do that. Be a Tracey. More and more people in this world have this inside of them. We just need to open it up and make it okay, and not make it feel like there's always something that we're expecting from somebody else. Because expressing love and gratitude in the most authentic way makes us better people. And it makes us a better people as well. And we all have the chance to do this. And sometimes the way that you express gratitude and appreciation in a unique way to somebody in your life, or somebody that you love, somebody you're grateful for, or maybe a complete stranger that you know, at work that you get to serve, or whatever it may be, maybe that's the one thing that they needed to feel seen. But you don't have to stick around for the result if you actually know that you're only doing it because you're grateful, not because you're doing it so that they acknowledge it and return it. But when you're so full of love and gratitude, you share it back, you share it, you give it away, because you know there's so much more inside of you that is going to fill your cup. And just the interaction alone, and just having dinner with somebody alone, is enough to fill your cup. You feel like it's overflowing and you can give it away freely. That's when the magic happens. And so do the work inside of yourself too, right? We can't give away something we don't have. So love yourself. Be grateful for who you are. Be grateful for more moments. Be present. Take things one day, one moment at a time, because that's where the secret is, right? It's not always being stuck in the next moment. It's finding the joy and the love and the gratitude in the current moment. So I know I rambled a lot. I know there's a lot of things. Again, I don't have any notes. I'm looking straight into this camera and talking straight into this mic, not looking at anything, just speaking from my heart. But we all have this unique opportunity. I have people in my life that love me and that are grateful for me, and I know it. It's a no matter what. And those people that I love the most, that I'm the most grateful for, they know that I love them and that I'm grateful for them no matter what. And so, like, let's love each other more without expectation. And so, doing things for other people is something that is fantastic and wonderful, and it serves other people, but it also serves us. Now, we get this opportunity every day. And so I encourage you to, again, I'm going to say it one last time, be Tracey. Make that impact. Share your love, share your gratitude, share your appreciation for just the opportunity to be in the life of someone else. So thank you again for listening to these episodes. As I kind of wrap up, there's really no great way to wrap up such a authentic episode like this, but I just hope something I said resonates with you, maybe inspires you to look at the work you're doing differently, look at the people around you differently, and just know that you deserve the goodness that you give out, and know that when you love and you have appreciation for other people, the right people will love and appreciate you back. Without expectation. And so you shouldn't have to earn all of those things all the time. You shouldn't have to earn the love and appreciation and effort and all of that. You may be asking the wrong people if that's the case. So just know that you deserve it. You deserve all the love and happiness and joy in the world. And to know that people are grateful for you is something that you always deserve. So I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the support. And I hope if you haven't yet, subscribe so that you get these episodes every week. Continue to share your comments and your questions and episode recommendations. I always enjoy those and get inspired by those week to week. So I appreciate all of you. And to the people that I'm the most grateful for, this is for you. So thank you. And I will wrap up this episode like I do every other episode, in saying that to remind you that you always have the power and the choice to reshape your mindset, live with intention, and look at the world through a grateful lens. Until the next episode, never stop.